Memory distortion or false memories. What is memory? Human memory involves the ability to both preserve and recover information we have learned or experienced throughout our lives. However, it is now widely recognized that the human memory is not an exact reproduction of past experiences, but is instead an imperfect process that is prone to errors and distortions. In a study by Bernstein and Loftus, they say, in essence, all memory is false to some degree. Memory is inherently a reconstructive process, whereby we piece together the past to form a coherent narrative that becomes our autobiography. In the process of reconstructing the past, we color and shape our life's experiences based on what we know about the world. So what are false memories or memory distortions? False memories are mental experiences that people believe are accurate representations of past events. They often revolve around trivial details like believing you put your keys on the table when you got home, but then you can't find them. But they also can be much more serious, like believing you saw someone at the scene of a crime or you saw someone abusing their child. But for a memory to be false and not just a memory error, it has to have a level of certitude in the validity of the memory. You have to be certain it happened. For example, you remember your cousin broke his leg on Easter Sunday when you were both 6, but your aunt argues with you saying it happened on the 4th of July when you were 8. Who is right in this instance? Probably your aunt, because it happened to her child and she more than likely remembers it correctly. One of the most famous examples of a false memory was provided by the influential developmental psychologist Jean Piaget. He had a clear memory of almost being kidnapped at about the age of 2, and he remembered his brave nurse fighting off the attacker. His family was so grateful and impressed with the nurse that they gave her a watch as a reward. Years later, the nurse confessed that she had made the whole story up. And even after he had no longer believed that the event had taken place, Piaget still retained his vivid and detailed memory of the event. The 3 domains of documented memory distortion are imagination inflation. Imagination inflation occurs when imagining a novel event leads people to increase their confidence or belief that the event actually occurred in their personal past. They claim that they performed an action or perceived an object that they only imagined, or they develop a full-blown false recollection of an experience that did not occur. And although some evidence suggests that imagination inflation occurs only for highly plausible events, other studies indicate that it can occur for even relatively implausible events. Memory distortions attributable to imagination inflation fall under the general class of reality monitoring errors, which are thought to occur most frequently when imagined events share perceptual or conceptual features with actual events. The next type is gist-based and associative memory errors. Gist-based errors occur when people extract the gist or the general information about thematic content, but they fail to encode or retrieve verbatim or item-specific distinguishing details. For example, studying a dozen pictures of cats leads one to remember quite well that cats were studied, but it can hinder one's ability to recall perceptual details of the particular cats, and it makes it hard to discriminate novel pictures of cats from studied pictures of cats. Stimulus characteristics, instructions, and test conditions all can influence the reliance on gist-based report responding. The third type is post-event misinformation. As you remember in the video we watched earlier in the semester from Elizabeth Loftus, she had individuals view a video of a traffic accident. Afterwards, they were asked questions regarding how fast the cars were traveling prior to the accident. When individuals were asked, how fast were the 2 cars going when they hit each other? It provided a mean response of 34 miles per hour. But when individuals were asked about how fast were the 2 cars going when they smashed into each other, their responses were a mean speed of 40.8 miles per hour. The wording of this question or the post-event information also affected their memory of the car accident more generally. 1 week later, these individuals were questioned again, and when they were asked whether they had seen broken glass in the film, 34% of the individuals who had received the question, including the word smashed, indicated having seen broken glass in the film, while only 14% of those who had received the question with the word hit reported remembering broken glass. The impact of post-event information is thus not limited to immediate questioning, but can have long-term consequences as well. So why do we care about false memories? Does it matter if people misremember things? False memories can often have serious consequences. The Innocence Project notes that eyewitness testimony played a key role in the convictions of more than 70% of people who were later exonerated through DNA evidence. Somewhere along the line, witnesses had forgotten faces they had actually seen and created false memories of other perpetrators. And in a non-conviction example, a mother named Lynn Balfour accidentally forgot her 9-month-old son in the backseat of her car as she went to work one morning. By the time she had discovered her mistake, it was too late. As temperatures reached to 110 degrees Fahrenheit inside the car, her son died of hypothermia. So is this a false memory? In many cases, these accidents happen when parents mistakenly believe that they dropped their children off at daycare or at the babysitter's. In Balfour's case, dropping her husband off at work that morning led her to think that she had, in fact, dropped her son off at the babysitter. Essentially, she formed a false memory of dropping her son off, leading her to forget that the child was actually still in the back seat. This has been my presentation on memory distortions and false memories. Thanks for watching.